So here's a quick talk about the backyard, and I want to do a before video, and that's what this basically is at the moment. My neighbors are about to leave. So this is the building, and then I have a gap. There's like a road to the neighbor, and I have a small gap. I don't know exactly. You can see here that it widens, and then over here there's a concrete step, and there's another door. The living room is behind that. So we've got tools. We've got tools in these boxes. They have held up very well the last couple of years, even through typhoons and stuff. And I want to put the solar on top of it. So the kayak has to go somewhere under that whole contraption later. But for now, what's very, very important is it's now 11:30, and you can look at the can here. And this is the, on YouTube I saw this, and they called it the can test. So I'm going to explain this in a minute. There's a bit of an overhang here that I can roll down for shade, because when I close this in summer to protect from the sun even more, then I also cut off wind circulation in this space between. So I bought this, which is really cool. You can just, roll it down, and my idea was basically that I put the solar panel somewhere between here and here. I haven't measured them exactly, but they're less than 1.10 m, so they can maybe hang over a little bit, and then I am roughly around here. I measured from this wall corner to that wood, and I have 6 meters, so I might have to put some solar panel further up. All the stack here is firewood. It can all be moved to my pleasure, and every solar panel that I add will stop raining on the wood as well as on the tools, and also protect my kayak from the sun. And I've got some gasoline canisters for the bikes there down there, which are empty. Yeah, Japan is very strict about this stuff. You can't even refill them at most stations, but that's a story for another time. This is the can test, or the solar can test. I saw this on YouTube. I found this very interesting. I thought I should try it for myself. It's on the kayak right now. The boat is fairly level. We have 11:30 now, and I'm going to, as you can see here, the sun is a bit more this way because there's a bit of a shadow on the right side. So I think in 30 minutes or so, as you can see here, this is south, so it's almost south now. So like maybe 1 o'clock, it's completely flat over here. So the positioning is not so bad. And then what you do is you keep the can flat, and then you raise the wood, and then you see the shadow. And the smaller the shadow is, the better, obviously, because it's direct sunlight. So I need to place the solar panels later in this configuration, and then the shadow to the side I could fix as well, but it's more difficult if I move it like this and move it up. Now I have even less shadow, but but the mounting option will be very difficult, because now I'm completely in the sun, in south. You can maybe see that on the compass over there. If I mount it like this, I have very difficult setup with putting all the solar panels next to each other. So I think I'm going to eat the loss and do it like this, because this is south and this aligns perfectly. But let's do a test. The solar panels just came, the first two, just for testing. I'll put them flat on the box and see how well I get, how much power I get. There are two 100 solar panels, so if I put them there, maybe I get 180 or 150. Let's have a test. So far I've only connected one solar panel directly, and it's now lying flat, and I think it's pretty level. You can see there's no obstruction. It gets sun and it at the moment has 89 watt or 89% out of the 100 that I could have. I'm trying to raise it now according to that CAN test and see what the CAN says and what if the wattage increases. But yes, I'm trying to, or actually planning to mount them this way, but it shouldn't really matter for you or for the sun. It's just like, again, it's just a test. I've used the CAN method again. I'm not 100% sure. It's not, maybe not so easy to see. If I do it this way, the shadow is absolutely minimal. And we have exactly 12 AM now, which is noon, which is lunchtime. And what I did was raise the solar panel with a CAN on top of it by hand. Then when the CAN was, you know, giving me very little shadow, I was trying to, I dropped the CAN, I held the panel in place, I measured down, I cut some old crappy wood. Of course, this is not the way I'm going to mount everything, but this is just a test for measurement. I've only used one. I wanted to do two, but this is the next test, probably not worth for a video. I also need to figure out the cabling and stuff. You can see I have 90 watt out of a 100 watt panel in this configuration at this time of day with the sun right up there going straight down. And I have some pipe that I want to build, but again, it's just a test. So I've cleaned up a bit. I'm not quite sure how to do this, so I need to figure it out, and I think I will film certain steps. The cano's in the parking lot now, and I need to see how far I can dig down to put these feet on the poles and maybe some metal underneath it, so they don't fly away in the wind. Make the gravel work for me a little bit better. Need to see about that. And also, instead of buying these proper mounting bracket thingies that basically just let you have holes here, I think I'm going to drill through like this and then put this on the pipe, maybe top, bottom, one in the middle, and that should be enough. So I've dug maybe 10 centimeters down, and there's a concrete edge, and I think that's not really bad at all. I need to figure something out. So this is the pole, this is the foot. If I stick this guy on here, then maybe put two M6 holes through here and a nice bolt. And if I then drill into that concrete, maybe it fits like a glove. That's maybe not a bad option. Yeah, I got maybe 4 centimeters down, and I think instead of buying these huge metal ones that expand when you hammer them down for like a shed or something, which is probably complete overkill, I think I'm just going to go with this. I mean, 4 centimeters in concrete, and then you have those plastic concrete screw anchors, and put some screws on top with the washer. I think this is gonna be, it's gonna be pretty good. Like, better than just having a scaffolding rack and then the plastic box weight. So we'll see. So we've made some progress again, and looking at the metal, this is all a bit temporary still. That pole and that pole, and I found some concrete again from those big wooden ones. So I drilled, put those green anchor things in, and put some screw on top. So this is fairly tough now. Now I'm trying to get the proper angle from this point to wherever I have to go here to get the right angle for the solar panel. And these two metal poles are still temporary. Of course they add a bit of rigidity, but this way I don't have anything yet. I mean this way, but that way is pretty, this is pretty sturdy. and this is level, and this is level, and this is all level, so I like that. I haven't drilled this pole yet because I might have to move it, so I'm actually planning to put the solar panels next to each other, as flush as I can get them. So this is the outside one, but the inside one, once I put the second solar panel on, I think I'm going to put a second clamp to double up and then put the next solar panel right away next to it. So there's going to be like a 5mm gap between them, and I really like that. So from the wood to the corner, 6 meter. Solar panel is, I think, 58.5. So I lost a bit on the side there because of the feet on the ground and all this concrete stuff. So the first panel is going to be here. So I lost 15 centimeter, and I hope I can make up for it. But I think I'm going to cover the first 3 meter, and then I can measure, and then I'm going to start from the other side. Even though, well, the concrete pole will give me shadow, but I think I don't care, because I want a sizable gap between this corner and maybe here, so I can lift the kayak through, right? Otherwise I'm completely shut in, which I'm also fine with, by the way. It's like, but just from here to by the sink to walk around the corner, you need to understand that I don't do a lot here. And now you can sit here maybe and say, oh, a bit of sun, but you have the fucking neighbors all the time, which is kind of annoying. And I will probably have panels here, so I can't look out anymore. I can just look up, see a bit of sky, and then the top here can come down and cover the rest. So the door is fairly in shadow, so it doesn't get so hot anymore. In summer, this is maybe also a good idea. But yeah, this will probably get 30-40 centimeter deeper, as deep as I can get, like as I can dig. I don't think there's concrete here. This is just like a retaining wall, and over there was the concrete from the wood. Once I drilled through it, this is just like this much concrete. They were like, this doesn't do anything. Like, that wood is so thick. I don't think that concrete does shit. So just to compare, this is not 100% yet. Again, I'm slowly getting there. I have had a look. Oh man, where's the fucking can again? So just to have a look here, it's taking shape. Basically, that panel as it is there, I just propped it up because, you know, I only need one to work with, and that panel is giving me 75 as it is there right now, and that one here is giving me 90 right now as it stands. And if we look at the can again, I think so the shadow from this way is not important. The shadow that way is important because I can change that through the angle. And I think like now it would be perfect. So they need to be I don't know, 2 centimeters lower or something, but I don't care about that now, because so these boxes here are going to go away and they're going to go down here. So imagine that box isn't there, then I can stand here and maybe you can see from my head I can reach just underneath like this. So I don't want to have 3 centimeters less, because I'm gonna hit my head all the fucking time and I don't want to do that. So yeah, I haven't tightened the screws yet, but I think this is gonna be fine. I could also I could drop the solar panel down, but I have 8 centimeters on both sides. I like the symmetry, and if anyone's complaining, I'm not even over the fence. So I'm going to work on the second one and drill the exact holes, and as I said, try to match it here. And then as we get closer to this area, I decide where the pole goes, and then I will sink it. So maybe I should be able to sink the pole here low enough with the exact measurement and cut it off that the solar panels can just continue uninterrupted. Same with this one. This is, I don't know, I might need to change something, but we have a look. But this is level. That means the concrete is level. That means I can put the third pole here and here if I wanted to. And then I probably don't bother on this side. And that one is in concrete. And this one gets sunk down at least this much, right? So it should be okay. And then I'm going to run 2 poles here to put the boxes on top. And all the box weight is also going to be on the metal. Yeah, double up didn't really work. It was too difficult to line them up. And I'm going to drill them on the pole now, because I don't know if you can see this, but I don't like it. So I don't like that there's like 2 millimeter. They're not 100% flush. So I'm not gonna re-drill them, but the next one I'm gonna hold right next to it, and then I drill and measure and drill properly. So this is gonna look better. But I'm pulling 190 now. 188 to be fair. Oh. So this would have been 100%. But I can't go higher on the inside because I cut the pole, and I don't want to go lower 2-3 centimeter. And I think this is good. This is good enough. I mean, seriously, we have 12.19 now, so we are also almost at 100% sun. So this is as far as I got. I had to dig down here with the hand shovel, and the plastic handle broke. So this is actually not too bad. And that one, I'm missing that copper foot. I have to buy. I think I won't put a pole here. That makes it one at almost the corner here, and then 2, 3, and then the extension. I think the inner pipe I'm going to continue all the way to the wood, to the next neighbor. I think that makes sense. Or actually that side, I mean the inner side, I'm gonna cut short around here, so I have 1.20 m, 1.50 m around. Like from this corner to the wood it's 1.80 m, so I could fit 3 panels, and then from this to the next one I have to leave a gap. So 3 panels means I have 9 more, and on this side from here to here was 6 meters, so this is, seriously, this is going to be very narrow for the kayak. I mean, I have to see how that goes. Otherwise there should be 4, and then the gap is here or something like this. And yeah, so 4 of them are actually in the ground. Like this way, this thing is really sturdy now. That way the panels add more stability, and I can, you know, make a pole here to make it stronger, but I don't want to close it off so I can walk around. And this one needs some cleaning up, but this is all finished here. I think I got the idea, like I might as well use the big ones here. I'm not supposed to drill holes, but I don't think they care outside. This is pretty rock solid, and this is the reason why I want to continue with that pole and not cut it. Also, I can lean the kayak on the pole and not on the fence itself, and I can just continue all the way over there. I'm also thinking about that side. You can see how high I stack the stuff, right? I can make that side higher. I could have built the whole thing way higher, but
you know, the metal, no, not metal, the concrete telephone pole thing. If I go a bit higher over there, maybe it doesn't, you know, people won't notice too much or won't complain too much. But again, this is all subject to change. Every time I do a little bit of filming, I change my mind, because it's, for you it's seconds or minutes, but for me it's hours or days in between. So let's see how I can edit all of the stuff. But yeah, that's not so bad. This one is hanging through a little bit, but I'm gonna make another pole here, because I'm gonna drill it into the concrete. But I don't want to make too many obstructions here because of those boxes, right? But they're not the priority. So between these two, the boxes should go. But I need to figure this out. Like, I'm actually, like, kayak wise, I am almost convinced I should just use this pipe and build a small contraption, maybe with the scraps and stuff, and put the kayak next to the HiAce, just like permanently, and then just put the kayak there, put a tarp over it, and then strap it to the metal. And I don't need any kind of sunshade roof or something if I put the kayak in a tarp. So it looks okay, it's off the ground, the rain can run off, and maybe there's a second kayak in the future, so hey, I don't have to bother with all of this crap here, and I can just put more of these boxes here, or more firewood or something, right? That would make it all much easier, and that would look much better, right? I think this is better. Like, the main thing is, the main problem is, I can't get the kayak through the apartment. Like, I would take that step, but it doesn't fit. Like, the poles and stuff work because I can lean them, but the kayak is like 20 kilo and 2.70 meters, I think. So I don't want to hustle with that all the time. But so yeah, like, for now they are in series. I can only put 3 in series, but the others have to be parallel. But the wiring stuff is all later. It's all Amazon. But like, you can see here, right? Like, if I pull this, these two are individually. So if I make a third connection here, it's even more sturdy. But I think this is pretty good, and it's gonna add more. Like, this looks flimsy, I know that, but we are not done yet. And like, this adds a lot of stability, so I can add those there. I will also add them here and here, then one down, then on the bottom straight for the boxes to go on. So yeah, I think this is pretty good. For anyone thinking this is overkill, this is not overkill. I'm worried it's not too much, but it's always like this. The problem is, ow, that's also a problem. In between those houses, if there's like a typhoon, the wind is really going. Like, I lost a bunch of, I had an empty box on the top once, and that flew away, but it didn't fly over the fence, but it toppled over and rolled around in my backyard from the wind. So this is actually, it's really, really strong wind here. Like, I've seen those flower pots on the floor from the typhoon wind. And like, I used to, like, you can see maybe the roof of the HiAce all the way in the back over there. And I own 2 parking lots, or I rent 2 parking lots, the left one and the one across from it. And I used to have the bike behind the HiAce, between the HiAce and this fence, which goes all the way to the road, right? So I used to have the bike between them, and the wind tore the bike to shreds, like the bike cover to shreds. On the other side, it's way different. Like, there's not this tunnel effect is not there. So the tunnel effect and the lifting, like you can see here, the bugger wants to go up as well. I mean, of course, this is when, if there's a typhoon, I can put it away, but these I can't. So yeah. Okay, this is not connected yet because I ran out of these things, but this is maybe, hopefully, okay. So the 5 poles are in, the third solar panel is on. I have those in series now, and I think it's pulling 260 to 70 watt, which is almost 100%, like as high as I've seen it. Like 90 watt per panel is the highest I've seen it, which is, I think, pretty good. Not like you don't get 100 out of 100. And yeah, we're just gonna go continue this way. So the next step is done. I've added a pole in the middle, and since I didn't show you the last time, I've dug in around 20 centimeter here and tried to make this proper angle. And I've also redone this pole because I fit the boxes in between so that the lid can open. The lids are like 10 centimeter thick because of that curve. So the old pole was here. I would have lost half a box worth of space, and so I have redone it all. Well, I've added this one and I've moved this one. Now I need to move these two probably. This one was dug in so nice, but as you can probably see here, this is not the proper angle. So I need to measure and see what needs to be moved. I need to do something in this direction because that direction, because of the wood, doesn't move. Maybe some poles here to show you what I meant. Now it's all the way against the pole and I can't really open them, so I have to have enough space that I can at least do this so I can get to the tools. And usually on the bottom I store what I almost never need, and the tools and stuff are on the top. So this is like KTM stock parts, the Daytona stock parts and stuff is on the bottom here. You know, quote unquote, what I don't need. And now let's see if I can make a connection here to make this more rigid. I don't like the movement. I also don't like that, you know, I moved these two as I just mentioned before, and that with the concrete anchor took some effort to bend sideways until they broke, but they did break. But the one that was here, I could just like walk it loose and then pull it out. So it's not as strong as I thought. I think I've done this before, but I don't want to use concrete, right? But that 6M bolt, I think I'm going to take one of those 3-meter ones and sink it like 1 meter deep, just one of them. Like the last one on the corner here, it's going to be really low, and then put like a steel plate. I need to see what I can find. Like 40 by 40 steel plate or something, and then just sink it down 1 meter, and that should protect me from, you know, walking loose, right? Like, I mean, realistically, if I pull like this, there's a little play, but it doesn't budge, right? But if the wind is doing this for like a year or two, yeah, I don't know. I know concrete is the way to go, but I rent and I don't want to faff around too much. This I can pull out again and put away. I was also thinking about trying to connect to this, but I don't want to drill into this concrete here. I might, but I don't think I will. I think this is good enough. It's like, these don't really do anything. I opened them up. I can open this up for you now, actually. This is, it's just like that. It drains from the, I don't know the name, Dachrinne. The gutter, the stuff from the ceiling, from the roof. Water's going down, it dumps in there, and then it goes into the earth probably. I've never had any flooding here, so they do a good job. I hate those fucking plants. I need to buy something that kills these plants because they are annoying. So yeah, I'm still on the fence about the kayak, like literally on the fence, because I only have 8 boxes and I used 8 boxes before, and if I make a pole here, then the kayak can stick out over this a little bit or something, but then the kayak is all the way until like almost this way. It would be so much easier without the kayak. And this is what it looks like if you have 6 Amazon guys show up at the same day. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. So this is where I want to dig the hole for the big anchor. There's more wind today, I'm sorry about that. But if I have a pole here that is almost 2 meters, well 170 or something, getting that kayak in and out is, I don't know if this is possible. But this is the length that I need to place the kayak, and somewhat higher, like stick it in. Gonna be tough. We'll see how that goes. But I have to get to digging. So here's my hole. I think I measured 40 to the ground, and this one doesn't have a foot. I'm trying something different. I flattened the tip there at the bottom and I pushed it down by hand as far as I could, and then I put this one here. I'm going to stand on it and try and jump a little or something, see how far I can drive it down. That's a whole 3-meter pole, so I think, I'm not 100% sure, but this is 150, this might be 180, so 1.10 meters in the ground. Let's see how deep I can get. Shit. So I'm quite happy with that. That's a whole 3-meter pole. To be honest with you, I managed to pull it out a little bit because I went a bit too deep. Maybe you can see that, but 3 meters in, or 1 meter something in, 40 plus 80 maybe. Now what I'm thinking about is flatten this, that's 150, and then stick it in at an angle and hammer it into the side as deep as I can go, and then put a connector on the bottom. This should be maybe better than a plate or something, but I don't know. I'm just I'm just spitballing stuff here and hope for the best. Unfortunately, I don't have a big hammer, so I have to use the old faithful. Yeah, I hit something. Yeah, that's not so bad. So I guess I'm going to show you the process. I'm not sure if I did it before, but it's getting better and then getting faster. This one, the angle is really crap because of that thing, and I'm trying to make them flush. The second one is a bit lower. I don't think you can see it. And the top one, this is what people will see. Yeah, probably good enough. So I'm trying to maintain 8 centimeter on both sides now, and I basically start with a solar panel that is on without holes. Then I put the metal piece on, the first one, and well, I will have drilled the 6 millimeter hole. I will have widened it before. Yeah, these are wrong. I did them all before to prepare, but I realized it's wrong because it's too close to the glass from the inside, so I should have prepared the bottom one. So I do the bottom one, I widen it, I put it on, then I drill through the other solar panel. Sometimes I use the tensioner if there's too much tension on it. Then I widen this one and stick it on top of it, and the screws are pretty tight. This one's really crooked and I'm not happy with it, but I have to see if I can get the other one on. Then I grab the next panel, which actually comes with carton around the corner, which is nice. Take that off. Then these are on him. I take those off too. My rubbish bin sink. Then I take this stuff off, and then I measure the distance again, just to be 100% sure, and then I drill the hole straight through, and then I wiggle the drill left and right, so I have some adjustment, because this is double walled. Then I have to go through the first metal, second metal, and then double walled again, so I have a bit of play. I can use the fastener, and then I tighten them down, then I tighten the other side on the pipe, which, like, you know, the round ones, which is pretty good, and then they're like absolutely bomber. You may notice that I'm mounting them upside down because I wanted the cable on the other side, so I don't have to fuff around with the cable when I stand there. I guess it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, I was just about to stop, and now it's starting to rain, so I can kind of walk through here well. I want to move this pole and move it further back. Maybe this is gonna line up a little bit more here, which would be nice. I left this one longer so the kayak will hit the pole rather than the solar panel. You know, you can always cut later. I ran out of these anchor thingies, so that stopped right there, but the rest is nice. And honestly, like, because of the rope I had for the kayak before, I could never properly walk around here, and now I can, which is kind of nice. And I have more storage for boxes, so I need to move all the wood and stuff here, then I can start from that side. Those two poles are gonna be connected for, you know, the rigidity and stuff. But again, this way it's moving, but it's gonna be fine, I think. And the other way, once I pin it in with the wood, it won't move at all. So, and then I have to think, like, I saw connectors at the home center for 2.5 to 3.5 or something. I might put one connector there so that this actually stops a little bit, and I can remove that, right? So I don't need to drill anything. I might need to buy one and put a little bit of pipe here. I've got enough cut-offs and shit. So yeah, another day done. 8 solar panels are up, but I'm not playing with the wiring because I have one 10-meter cable that I need to cut. These are, as I said, these are in parallel and then in and out. So the next set of 4 in parallel will be in series. So it will be 1, 2, 3 in series. 1, 2, 3 sets of 400 volt. And I think this side I'm gonna make it higher because I can walk here, but I want to be able to walk here. So I'm probably going to put 2-meter poles up and then I have like what 180, 170 on this side, and then it goes further up. And when the sun's all the way that way, I hope the shadow doesn't cover this side because of the gap, right? So, but honestly, like, this is 1.80 m, so this is 3 panels, and then the fourth one will be here. Means the gap is very small. But I think I'm gonna cheat, and I'm just gonna steal from the neighbor. I'm gonna put the pole up, and I already know that the poles fit under the panel, and then just move. Practically one solar panel is gonna be on the other side, or like half or something. Like the wood is maybe 15, so instead of being here, I can be here or something. I might do that. Like you can see, they don't do anything, and the ones next to me are the super lazy ones, because you can see that all this dried veggie stuff was knee high last year, and then it all crumbled and died. Like this stuff seriously grows big and then crumbles and dies, and when it dries up, it's almost completely gone. Where did I see one? Here, over here. This is what's left. So this is very small. I don't think they will even notice. I just do it. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. So next day, I've been to the home center and I bought a few more parts, but it's 2:30 and I can't really do anything big, and I haven't started cleaning that one yet. But I want to show you the difference here. If I look at this, like I said before, I don't know how much the GoPro is compensating for this, but it's moving that way, and I'm thinking about fixing that. So what I bought at the home center, they have these adapters. That's the biggest pipe that maybe you have seen me use on the other video. I'm not sure which video is going to be released first, but that's a 2.5 centimeter clamp. That's the same as the pipe, and there is a smaller size. Actually, this is 4.5, and then there is 3.8, and that pipe is 3.7. So the problem was they didn't have the right adapter for 3.7 to 2.5. They only have the biggest to all the sizes and some in betweens, but not that step. So I decided to buy the bigger one, and I'm also going to use some towel, some old shit towel that I have, and I'm going to wrap it around it and then put the clamp, so even if there's some small vibration, it doesn't scrape through the paint, right? And first I was gonna do it down there, but I think I'm gonna do it up there, so the last 40 centimeter can't move. So if I put it up there, it should be nice and tight. Let me see if I can film that. I think the towel will compress enough, but the bolt is too short. Let's see if I can find a bigger one. How much headache this gave me. So the bolt is long enough, I can just reach the other end comfortably, but I had to squeeze it together because the thread wouldn't catch. It's like, oh fucking hell, what a headache. I think that's done. It's a lot stronger than before. I've also squeezed these together, so that one isn't really 100% vertical, but you may have noticed here, I don't know if you can see that, but that is the proper length here, but the top, after I put in the solar panel, I also squished that pole over, and that also took some of the movement out of it. There's a bit more. Oh Jesus, this is like, that fence is moving now. So yeah, I think this is pretty tight now. I like it. I like the way it's up now, and then it just gets stronger, right? I have to see how I build this, because I constantly change my mind until I'm happy, right? So last time I told you 4, but I think I'll do 3 and do 1 up here at it like this angle. And I know I'm losing power, but I'd rather lose like half a solar panel out of 12. So I'm happier with that than closing this. So the last one finishes here, and then 1 meter long instead of high. So like chew, and leave the toilet window unobstructed, like next to it. But I'm looking at the shadow right now, so I need to remember where the shadow roughly was. And then I'm just gonna spitball it again. So yeah, I think from there to here, but let's see where the others end up, and then kind of make them flush here, but at a different angle. So just to make it all make sense. I hope it makes sense. I can continue this angle actually. I thought it would be further to the left, but I'm not. So I could just keep going, but I want to have this reach through. And it's not just the kayak, it's other stuff too. If I ever have something that I can't fit, it has to go through this door. And if I have like, you know, I measured from the wood, and it was the cable would finish right at the solar panel would finish right here where the cable is. So I can put the kayak through here somewhat awkwardly, which is also okay, which I might end up doing, but I don't know. I want my options. I forgot to mention that I was trying to buy those boxes and I couldn't find any. I'm going to have to change the plan a bit. I have this one here, but it's got a hole, so that would be that one. And then I have all this space, but I see that these boxes fit here quite well. I wanted to have an open box for my pet bottle garbage, so I might do 2 garbage, or three of these green ones, and then the 2 blue boxes for storage, the kayak on top, and then I can, you know, the rest of the stuff is with wood over there in the corner. I wish I had more of them. I only have 2, 4, 6, 7, and a couple of smaller ones. The firewood might go in here though, and then I keep 2, 3 big ones. So I cleaned it all up, and looking at this, I just crushed these plants a little bit because they annoy me, and the stink is unbelievable. And you can see they don't care at all. I don't think they notice if I steer 20 centimeter. Maybe I should measure properly and make it stop here. But then let me put some tape up. So there's one pole here, and I just did a test when the sun, because now the solar panel is not generating anything because the sun is behind the building. When the sun was where that TV antenna was, I checked the shadow, and that pole was already on the panel, but I only had 60 watt from all 8 total. So as you can see, half an hour later, 1 hour later, the sun is gone. Solar production is over for today. We've got 5 p.m. so we've got about 12 hours, 12 good hours. And if I put the metal up here, like, konnichiwa. I put the pole down 15 centimeters, so the pole will end up here, and then the other side will be maybe this way here. But the solar panel will end maybe around here, and then I can put the next one up that way. So it's really going to be steep, and I measured from here to here is 60. That's one panel, two panels, three panels. Then this is the empty space, and then from this side to this side is the 1 meter horizontal panel. So one coming down around here, and then the others going this way. So kind of like that. I think that's what I'm going for. But compared to that, 20 centimeter higher. So I can comfortably, I'm 185, and this is 2 meter. This is about 15 centimeter before I hit the concrete. That means that corner is about my head height, and then I can walk through here, right? And I also have this space left. And I realized last time chopping wood, I mean, this is not as narrow as it was last time, but I want to keep one of them for chopping wood in the future. I hopefully get to burn through this year, because there are 2 or 3 boxes that are really old, and then 2 or 3 boxes that you saw me. Oh, you didn't see me. Last time I went camping, I brought some wood back and I split it here. I for some reason managed to hit the sink there. There's a corner missing. So I need to put a pole up so the axe doesn't hit the solar panel, but something like that. And then more wood for this area for the future. I need to have bigger turnover. I need to go out more. But this one's still kind of okay. The other one was rotten here, and the axe it got all brittle. The middle is still good. But I found them dry at an abandoned house in Oktama somewhere, and I have had them for 2 years now. So they are, I need to burn those up. Used to be good hardwood. If anyone can identify this, let me know, because I've got no clue what it is. Yeah, but sun's gone. I need to finish up, and I'm done for the day, I think. So I've made some progress again. This is just the basic bottom part. This side I think is completely finished now, and yeah, there's so much weight on here that practically this is not level, and this is only temporary because I don't want to dig 5 times anymore. This is just some support. Now this is finished, but this is also just temporary. And the day I want to measure and check the can, I've got clouds, so come on. Yep, thank you. I need to puzzle this out. I need to see. I'm doing this differently this time. I'm not going to put this on here. I'm going to make a pole like this first, and I'm letting it hang down further, and then put a bar across, and then put the solar panel down, so that way they can hang over a bit more. And maybe I can do one sheet, the upright ones until here, and then the last, I don't know, this is like I don't even know why I'm filming this, because I'm gonna change my mind 5 more times. I just thought I'd give you a bit of progress. And yeah, I don't know, I cut this one too short, and I couldn't put one of those caps on, and I'm like, argh! Also, I wanted to put one of these maybe, but the wood is really crappy down there, so I think this is sturdy enough already, and I'm gonna put a 3rd one there, and then we are good. But this is really difficult now. I can't really make up my mind. And another thing to complicate the whole thing is like that pole is over 2 meters and I already put the dirt down, so I don't know how high it is anymore. So even though this one isn't in the ground yet, this is completely wrong. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. But yeah, I have to figure something out. And I don't have a ladder, so one problem after the other. And the clouds are crappy and I'm feeling a bit bitchy today, so starting to figure things out. This hopefully is the proper angle. I mean, that one over there. Too much shadow, I want to say, too many clouds in order to use that Coke can, but I tried to do some measurements and it looked similar or good enough. Now this is just temporary again here, but I dug in that foot there and I found concrete again. It's not a proper wall like I have on the other side. It was just like a, maybe from the foundation, something that poured over. But yeah, I'll take it. And yeah, I mean, the next step, you're gonna see where I'm going with all of this solar stuff. So another quick look before I put the wood back so I can walk and stand on it and reach the upper stuff here. Again, this is still not 100% adjusted, but I'm glad the sun came out a little bit, but I think I'm going to do most of it tomorrow. So yeah, this is not even tight yet, but I can walk through it without hitting my head. You can see here how high do I have to go until you can see the shadow. Ah, okay, the shadow's down there. So yeah, this is not interfering. It's so far apart now that it doesn't matter how high I go here. I mean, within reasonable height. So yeah, this is not bad. It's turning out nice. It's taking shape. That's gonna be cut, and I think the second one here I still need to move around. So the plan is to kind of put the last one on and then have a look-see and make this one flush, and then on the inside push it together as much as I can. But I need to leave space for at least one pipe to kind of connect either to the bottom in that way, in that angle, or I'm not 100% sure yet how I'm going to do this. But from that pole to this one, it doesn't work, it's too wide. The panel is too wide, and also the other panel is on it, right? So this is the like that. That's what I feel like at the moment. I wanted to put the upper side up first so I can still move it and see where it ends up, but the weather looks really crap, and my neighbor told me that tomorrow is going to be rain, so I covered all my tools. All of this shit can get wet. The wood is getting wet anyway. The panel here is only attached to one side, but this should be fine. I'm not too fussed about it. And see you guys probably next week or in a couple of days. And then I'm finish it all up, and then I show you the wiring, and then I put in the inside one, like where the battery is stored. I need to build some furniture. This is going to be a custom job again. And after I have done all of that, I can concentrate on the next video, which will be the living room and hooking up all the appliances to this new rig.
Yeah, so it's raining today, and I thought I might have a look at the inside of it all. You can see here, that's where the cable's going to the solar battery inside, and I have to clean it all up on the outside, but I want to have a look and see how things are on this side. I mean, I know what it looks like, but I want to show it to you before I build too much. So the battery stuff is down here, and the last few days both are at 100 because I haven't really been drawing, and I should connect this to something and start building. But as you can see here, the biggest problem that I have is that there isn't really a way to go, and I think under the door I don't want to pinch those cables constantly. I don't want to take a corner out of the door, so the best way might be to go out through the window again and then have a look over there. But yeah, we need to see how we can organize this. Also, I talked to support because I saw in another video here the right side is the intake and the left side is the outflow, and I don't want to constrict it. And you can see here, this is already like there's not a lot of space, and I want to build a wall, and I want to make shelves to put my motorcycle gear and camping stuff up here. So I want to have this as slim as possible, and I need to measure properly, but I talked to support, and it doesn't matter how these extended batteries are placed. And you can see in the back here there's a really big cable. Can you see it on the back side? Yeah, this is on here, sorry. How do I change the brightness on this thing? But anyway, so I want to move this one over, and then this one here has to go upright, basically in this position. But as you can see, the cable is too big, so I'm gonna lift it up and put it on a little pedestal or something. But anyway, let's have a quick look outside, see where we can put the cable. So I was thinking about going through the window here and then up there, and there's a kind of duct thing over there. So this is what the other side looks like. It kind of pops out, and there's like a filter thingy. But I don't know, what's this over here? Oh wow, this is kind of neat. Okay, let's check from the other side. Oh wow, I didn't see that before. That's pretty convenient. So if I look at this now, then the cable could just go up here and through the hole, and I'm in the living room. So the rain is gone and it's sunny, kind of puffy clouds. I'm actually getting good electricity today. Well, I guess I lied, it's only 300 now. When I woke up it was 560. So, here we go. Now we have 500, 20, 30. So the output here, the 230, this is charging 120 something. So this is drawing as well as my fridge and all the other stuff. So they are actually charging up while they call it flow through, right? So I hooked up this stuff up here. This is not the finished product, but my fridge is connected now, and those lights are not connected. I need to get used to, I need to put some others up and get used to using those. Yeah, so it's 12:21 now, so, and it's 540, that's where it stopped at. So 540, if I get another 200, I was hoping for 1,000, but I guess that doesn't work. But winter should be pretty dry, and that's when I'm probably, the heater costs more than the aircon, I think. So anyway, this is all still to be figured out. But I changed some stuff around here. I took some panels down that I had already put up. I was gonna leave a gap here between this panel and the next one to get up to connect this one, even though this one's not connected here. This is roughly the shape that it's gonna end up being in, and I'm just gonna put up the next one now, and then I'm fixing that. But it's almost flush and I'm really happy about it. But as I said before, that angle is shit. But if I lift it to the right angle, then the bottom one has shadow. So that's just the way it is, right? Like they will end up being around here, and then the next one would be here. I don't want that. I walked over there the other day and looked from the outside. This looks actually quite nice here, fairly flush. And if I look at it, I can actually, instead of leaning the kayak over that way, I can carry it around and then lean it down here and just lean it against the pole or the cable actually. Yeah, that was very smart. And hopefully the fucker isn't broken. No, that actually, fucking hell, what am I doing here? So yeah, and then this will be cut to size, and the firewood stuff, I don't know, everything's coming along. I think I'm gonna jump to the next part and show you what this looks like finished, and then you will have a session of cabling, and then we're gonna jump inside and build that shelf for the battery. But this might not be today. I guess that's it. At least for today. As you can see, there are some of these caps missing. The pipe's all gone. The connectors, I have like 2 extra. I could have used more of the fixed ones compared to the flexible ones. I want to cut all of this tighter and put caps on them because I'm obsessive like that. So I haven't done that yet because I don't have them. So I need to go to the home center and clean it all up. But for this stage we are done, and we are going to do the cable next. But first of all, let me jump on the other side and let me show you what it looks like from there. So this is what it looks like from the other side. As I said, it's high, so I can still do stuff underneath. This turned out nice and flush. That looks pretty good, I think. I can hide it behind it. So yeah, this is some old box, right? So this looks good. Now I could lower this a tiny bit. That's one thing but it's just too much work, honestly. Lower everything a little bit, so maybe 10-15 centimeter. Also the top panel does not have the proper angle, as you know. If you look beside the house, from that metal, if I shorten the pole a little bit, then the angle would adjust more, but then it's closer to the house, and I don't want it rubbing on the house because I'm gonna get in trouble. This is already some play, but I can't hit the house. I hit the pole here, which I'm kind of fine with. Neighbor of mine suggested zip ties around here to really tie them down and tighten it up that way. I'm gonna do it. I went on Amazon and I bought metal ones, so like 50 centimeter, like I don't know what they're gonna be like, but I want to have a look. Maybe some towel, and then tighten everything this way, maybe like this, so the pole and this panel is not as important as the wall in the house, because I don't want to get in trouble with this. But yeah, the rest looks fairly good. We are going to have a look at the cable management now, and I'm gonna show you on the whiteboard before I do it out here. So I hope the camera isn't moving too much, because I am doing this on the table with the whiteboard and with this shitty tripod. What I bought is this crimping tool. Some stuff on YouTube I watched. Apparently the crimping connection is very important. Otherwise you have voltage drop, or it may burn or something. The one thing I want to say, if someone is buying the EcoFlow solar panels, these kind of splitter on Amazon work very well. Unfortunately, the connections that come with this, they don't work, because I don't know exactly why,
This, as you can see here, I cut the cable. So this is one of them, and this is one of these in the bag that I bought extra. So if you push this in here, yeah, you can hear a tiny bit of a click, and you can't pull it apart. One more time. And you can't pull it apart. Now these here, for some reason, they don't click. I think the plastic thing is a tiny bit too short. So I'm not going to be using them. I push it together, but I can still pull it apart. So they're crap. That's why I cut them off again. The problem with these is that you cannot reuse them. Once they are on, they are on. So this is not really a how-to video. This is me showing what I have been doing, and you can just, you know, follow along out of curiosity. So this is called a male, and this is called a female, because it's going in there, right? So inside the male, you use the female connector, because this is a male and it's going into the other one. So very important, you push this in here, it fits, right? And then you can maybe see it inside there, but I can't push it all the way, because you can see this kind of metal here, and there's already some in there. So if I push this together, it clicks inside of it. And if I use a male on a male, then it clicks inside of it also, and that means I can't connect them. So I've basically thrown away like $2 if I push this in now, which is kind of, you know, good to know if you do this yourself. And that wasn't the problem that I had. The problem I had was that I used this crappy one, and then I brought it to the solar panel and I connected everything, and I went back inside, and then I realized where's the one of the connections is funny, right? Because this cable already fell out again. So the tool is good. These are basically not necessary anymore, because that and that also looks different. So I cannot, this works, but this works, but this doesn't work. So yeah, these are all garbage. And that brings me to my next point. I bought way too many of them. I knew that the cables would have, on the solar panel, would have already these plugs, but I bought 4 packs of them, so I have 24, and not counting the crap here. And I am going to shorten the solar cable as much as I can to make it look tidy and neat, because I think, you know, less resistance the better. Maybe a little bit more energy, but it also is going to look better. If you've seen the cable right now, you will notice that it is all over the place, because I have just connected them. And now let's talk about the way this is connected and where these come in. I have 12 solar panels. If I were to put the first cable in here, and let's say the generator is in the house, that's what I call it, a generator, because it's not like it's generating it's generating solar energy, but I think they do, and this is just a battery. But anyway, again, not a DIY video. All of these panels have 2 cables, and it's a bit difficult if you say this is plus, this is minus, on this side this is plus, so the plus and the minus get connected, right? So I don't like the color coding on the cable personally, because if you connect it all and if you make it all up, it really depends on what side of the cable you are in order to have plus and minus. So I know this is DC and not AC, AC alternating current and DC direct current, but let's say this is plus, and I have plug the plus into here, and then I take the other cable and put it over here, and then the next cable over here, and then the next cable over here, and then we just keep on going. the generator will burn out, because you have volt and you have ampere, and you have to watch both of them. If you combine the two, you have watt. So 1 ampere and 100 volt is 100 watt, 2 ampere and 100 volt is 200 watt, for example. So the generator, this thing down here, can take, don't quote me, 15 ampere, I think 150 volt, whoop, and 1600 watt. That's what the guy in the support center told me. Now, if we do the math, because we're stupid, we use a telephone. So you're not supposed to exceed them, right? So if you have 150 times 15, that's 2260 watt. But basically, the 1200 watt is what I'm not supposed to exceed. So 12 times 100. And I think the way they need to be connected is that we have 3 sets of 400 watt panel. That brings us to 1200, and the 5, 10, 15 ampere, I believe. So where's my sponge? So this is wrong. What we need to do is put them in series and parallel. Parallel basically means that, let's say this is plus, and the plus goes in here, and we have 1 plus, another plus, another plus, yeah, this is it, 4 plus, and then we have minus, 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 minus. But let's just, to make this easier on the drawing, the minus is over here, and that's where these cables come in. If this is plus or minus, it doesn't matter for this part now. So I'm plugging this in, and I am also, I have this connector here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then my plus goes to the generator, and then on the other side here I have the minus, another one of these, but with a different system, right? With the opposite cable. You can see it here. And then this one doesn't go back to the generator. This one goes to the other side. And when it's on the other side, it becomes a plus again. And then we connect the 4. And then on the other side, we have our minus again, and then we go over here again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 box, and then on this side we have another box, and this one goes to the generator. So this is what I'm going to do. Technically we have 4 sets of 400, sorry, technically we have 3 sets of 400, which gives us 1200 watt, and that's why they are parallel, but each set is in series. So we have around 15 ampere. I hope this is easy to understand. And that's where these guys come in. And I will zip tie them to the poles. And then I'm going to measure the cable and I'm going to cut the cable. Okay. Let me see how I can film this. I just cable tied it there, and I need to have enough space so the cable doesn't rip. I cut the cable, maybe a little bit short. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Here we go. Then you take the male and the female. The female is the bigger one, longer one. And the easy part is, so you see the small round part here, the rivet, or not rivet, the cable tie thingy goes in this way. So those curl up into the metal. Now I can hold it like this. You can just stick it over here and crimp it on. And then all the way is good enough, basically. And what you can see here now, they curl into the metal and they push it all together, and supposedly this is the back connection and there's no soldering required. Now you can see that I have not put in this one first, and the beauty is you don't have to. You just stick it over here and then you can hear another click, and then you tighten it down. And then you use these. One goes there, the other goes here, and then you just tighten them until they start clicking. Click, 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 click. And then this is the cable. This is the connection. And this is supposedly not coming off anymore. We have our splitter and we connect it. Yeah, this is on. And then we're gonna zip tie it here, I think. And then we cable tie it so that it has all the play at the end. I guess this is good enough. I just made sure that the cable can kind of run a path and doesn't get pinched. So fairly tight, and then zip tied to the pole. Same here. Like there is some play in here, right? Like it's not super tight, everything. I read some stuff on the YouTube comments and forum that it shouldn't be too tight, shouldn't be too many cables together. They get warm, especially out here. There's play, they're moving around. You can see here I didn't impede in the connection at all. I zip tied the females together. I don't know, just roughly. I think this is good. And I can walk, and this is way too long because this might move, right? So, but as I said, I might zip tie the pole to the fence, but so the cable doesn't break. And then the minus one has to, I don't know, the minus one basically has to go here, but I might take the floor route. I've got two 10-meter cable that I'm just cutting wherever I need it, and I have to, like, this was it before and I don't like it, so I'm going to take it all apart, do it again, and maybe like put the splitter up here. So I think we're done for today, and I think we're done outside. Just to show you, this cable I saved, and I tried to make it nice and neat. The amount of connectors is the same, just the cables are shorter, right? So nothing wrong with it. If I ever change location, I just need to buy a new cable. I did buy 2 packs of 10 meter each, and this is the second pack. The red wire I moved under here, and over here actually I cut the connector off, so I put it through the pipe. I don't want to dig down, it doesn't matter, but it's just like if I step on it, I would step on it there, and not in the corner with the concrete there. So I put some pipe on it, or actually put it through pipe, that's the way. And yeah, you can see the rest. I hope it's clean enough. I think I'm going to look for something like this but bigger and put it here, and then when I bring the kayak out I can set it down here and slide it down, so that should be fine. I like the look of this, it like kind of fits, right? And yeah, that's it. So the shelf is next. Not sure if that's tomorrow, but maybe. So see you on the other side of the building. So this is my entrance, and here's the cable. And the first thing I want to do is make a piece of wood, sink it down here. The window can close on top of it, just to fill the gap completely, protect this from rain a little bit, and keeps the cable from pinching. There's some, yeah, it's not bad here, but there's something going on already, so we don't want that. It's coming along. This is the extended battery, this is the other one, and yeah, those squishy squeezy thingies on the top, because I'm not allowed to drill. And I built a bit of a platform on the back, and I took the light part here, the light switch, because I want to put some extension, and when I cover the front I want to put the light switch here for the toilet, so it's not behind the boxes. And yeah, let's see if we can fit it. I mean, I measured, it should fit, but I'm not 100% sure where the cable comes out, so I probably do it this way so I can still access that drawer type thing here. But let's have a look. Yeah, so that's not gonna work. I have to take the stuff out, but that's okay. Let's have a look underneath and see if we can fit the cable. Okay, so this actually went the way it's supposed to go. Yeah, except the door thingy, which I forgot. And the battery is gonna go down here. The way I can roll it in and out and then connect it to the extension cable. And if I move it to the car, I pull out the solar and I pull out the extension cable, and then I can just go through the door. So on top of it all here, I'm going to build a drawer for all my stuff. And then once I reach this height, I'm going to build the first shelf for the boxes. Even with the crappy sun that we have, we still get 172, and I'm drawing about 100 over there with my light on. Even though this is connected, it's not doing anything. Yeah, it's pretty cloudy outside. So time to build the first drawer, and this here is just to show how nice and level everything is. Let's see, this guy, nice and level too. I'm going to put one board here, the first board, which is going to be the first shelf, and then this guy has to hide there somewhere. But you can see here I have enough space for, oh, what do I want to say? I have enough space for the box to pass next to it, which should be pretty easy. But before I put the board on and block all the access to the bottom, I want to make a few drawers. So here you got two drawers and the first shelf for the first box. This I need to fiddle with because the cable is not long enough. I need like 5 centimeter more cable, but I need to build more wood here. I'm thinking about covering just under the you could actually just under the drawer and then leave this open to get to the cable and also the air intake. And this should be covered top to bottom. So shelves first, then cover the side, and then cover the front, by which I mean there's going to be wood here, flush with this, little gap in between, thinking about drilling a hole for a finger as well as cable, because I want to run cable from the bottom and I don't know, maybe put some stuff in that can be charged, like GoPro and stuff, and just leave the cable here, even though it's going across this one. But I think I'm fine with that. This is going to be like all related stuff to power cable can go in here. I have those boxes everywhere spread out in the house. I need to build some proper storage. What I don't like is that this guy down here needs a bit more weight, but yeah, that's what you get when you can't draw, when you can't drill. And I should have taken one that was not bent this way but bent that way, but yeah, okay, maybe next time. So this needs an extension, and then the next drawer comes in. It's gonna be like a bar, squeezing it to the side. This guy here is pretty rock solid, and yeah, but it's like almost 5. I think I should stop. The 2 drawers are done. It's a bit of a big gap here because I wanted it flush on the bottom, and somehow it turned out like this. Not sure this is the best drawer in the world, but we'll see. Small one. Ah, I was looking for this. Small one on the top, big one on the bottom. First box is sound. We've moved the switch. That's the toilet light and stuff, which was really annoying. Always reaching behind it. Every person who ever set foot in here was like, hey, where's the toilet switch? So now I think this is not so bad. This is going to be covered, but I think I'm going to do the drawer stuff first. And yeah, this is almost finished. So yeah, here you have it. I think I'm finished. I'm finished in regards to the building process, I think. So today's been really cloudy. That's why it's only 55%. There isn't a lot of light here, which is fine. But that's the reason I'm going to paint it white. There is a hole down here because I need to reach it, right? I need to unplug the solar power, and I also put the cable for the AC if I need to charge it from the main line. So far, I mean, I'm gonna do a proper video about the solar consumption, but the feeling at the moment is that as you can see here, it's inputting 70 and it's pulling out 60, so there might be a bit of solar going on, and there is also something coming from the second battery, which is completely hidden now, and I would have to rip it all apart in order to get to it, but there's no fan on it, there's nothing, it's just batteries, and there's a display, but I have the same information here, and I can disconnect the cable to the second one. So if I wanted to pull it out, oh sorry, it's heavy, I would just pull it out like this. So I stuffed the cover behind or on the side, so this needs to get cleaned. And yeah, so you see the solar coming from the top, that's the black and white. The thick one goes to the second battery, and then I just left the AC cable lying here. I would like to have a switch in the wall and press it and connect it, because it will draw right away, and then press another, turn it off here, but there's no power at all anywhere, so I'm going to have to figure something out. Maybe maybe, I don't know, it's too much faffing around, right? So if I take the cable from the other room to bring power and go behind it and then go to the switch and then go to the I'm sorry, I can't talk. And then go to this thing. Maybe that's a possibility, but that's a project for another time. I want to see how often I need it, because I've only needed it once. And the fridge is constantly drawing. And you can see here it was 55. It's 55 now. We have like 5 p.m. It's very cloudy. There isn't much coming in, and it probably tomorrow morning it's going to be like 30 or something, because I seem to be drawing 25 to 30% with my aircon. Sorry, with my PC, with all the 3 PCs, and with the TV when it's on. So I went camping one night and it was really sunny. I came back, it was 100%, but I've never seen it 100% since I've installed it. That was the first day, and I think the culprit is the TV and stuff. So the fridge is not so big, not so bad. I also want to rig up something over there where I can just change the cable and put this whole setup, because the 2 lights, maybe you can see them, the 2 lights, the TV, the 3 computers that I have over there, and the microwave, and the PlayStation, and maybe the PlayStation 4 I don't need, but the Nintendo Switch, I don't know, all the stuff can be on one cycle basically. I just one cable. It doesn't draw a lot of amps, I think, other than the microwave. So I have 3 cables here now, because there's 4 outlets, and I don't know if these 4 outlets are on different fuses. So one's going to the fridge and the other one's going to the aircon in the future, and the next one is going to this cluster of stuff. And if I should run down the battery, there's 2 things I can do. I can either plug the battery into the AC and charge it. This is maybe the easiest version, because then I don't need to fuff around in that living area. I can just charge this bastard. And at night, power should be cheaper than during the day, right? So if I run out, it's at night, so I can charge it at night. Yeah, I think there's going to be switchy in the future. Let us see. The rest of the building is basically done. I want to put some hooks here. That's why I covered this. I didn't cover this. I'm going to put some curtain, but just one kind of heavy cloth that hangs straight down. And I can just unhook with 2 hooks and then take it off. Same here, and then same up there. The right side I covered because the last piece is plastic, right? The plastic and the spring thingy, and I also covered it from the inside. I didn't cover it from here. I can't. Oh, I don't know if you can see this. So it was ugly. That's why I covered it completely. And then I might try and paint this white. And in the future, I want to cut the outlets off. Like once that's part of that renovation. When that's done, I'll figure something out to get rid of these ugly cables. And yeah, I think this is next time. The solar video is already long enough. I don't know if anyone even watched it. So yeah, I know I put a lot of screws in there, but I wanted to have 2 lines of screws because I needed it over there, and I started and I couldn't stop, and oh, it's all a mess. So anyway, so yeah, I think this looks pretty good. I'm gonna paint it. It's been over a week because I ran out of wood and I didn't have time to go to a home center. So maybe paint tonight, but the painting, and then I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks for watching so far. So it's been a few days again, and now it's time to edit the video, and I realized I forgot filming it after I painted it. There are a few mistakes that I've made, but I'm quite happy with what it turned out to be. The one last thing that I need to do is find some kind of curtain thing that goes in here. And I've already realized that when I drag the boxes out,
There's some marks left over, so there might be some tape or something in the future, but I don't know. I've actually finished installing those plastic holders for the Makita batteries. Yes, I may be in love with Makita batteries. And in the charger, the cable for the charger is properly mounted now, and I put a switch in. If I hit the switch here, it'll come on. The green blinky light was kind of annoying all the time. That's why I put this charger in between. Then I've also added a switch here for what I told you in the last video is the alternating current coming from the other room, which goes over here, hits the switch, then goes all the way down to charge this bad boy. But we are still good for now, 38%. I just finished editing that car video, so you might want to have a look at that. Other than that, I think this video is finally done. Sorry for the crappy audio on some places, but I hope you enjoyed it. I know this has been a very, very long filming and building project for me personally as well. And I hope it wasn't too boring to watch the whole thing. See you guys on another video.